So both the Miszville Mavericks and the Bilbali Desperados have the opportunity to make themselves mathematically safe from relegation with victory today. A draw would be good enough for the Mavericks to confirm their Elite Division status and would likely see the Desperados safe too, but it would then go down to results in the final round of the season. The Mavericks begin life after George Fleisch with just 3 blitzers, after team owner Mick Oldby refused to allow Victor Rage to sign any more positionals this season. The remaining 3 blitzers for the Mavericks are a collection of the walking wounded, with Pon Dodley in particular looking keen for the end of the season. He's got at least 4 permanent injuries on him as Pon Dodley. The Desperados, meanwhile, have no injury concerns after their 3-1 defeat to the Tor Lithanal Rangers last time out. Head coach Dargit Backstabber will be keen to avenge a 3-0 defeat to Victor Rage's Mavericks, suffered the last time the two coaches met, when Backstabber was in charge at the Rangers. Viking Cop, your thoughts on this game?
I think it's very mean of Mr. Oldby to deny the Mavericks of extra resources for the end of the season. That's a low blow. It's a low hit, it's a dirty hit to them. But then they are almost safe. I think it's more on the Desperados, the pressure. Because they're coming from a not bad streak, let's say, considering how the season started for them. And this is the chance to secure, to avoid relegation, better said. Both teams will be a bit nervous, but I think the Mavericks probably have the upper hand, as well as some tasty inducements, for sure.
The fixture list has not been kind on the Desperados, really, who faced like all of the front-running teams at the very start of the season, and then have faced all of the struggling teams towards the end of the season, once those teams have started getting their act together. So it is probably, in terms of strength of schedules, not really a thing in the ZFL, but in terms of the toughest overall fixture list this season, the Desperados would certainly be in with a shout for that. And then I'm sure Viking Cop would agree with that assessment.
Yeah, but not everybody can have the schedule of the Celtics, can they? So it's fine. It gives a bit more of drama to the new team in town, and it makes things difficult and challenging and spicy.
All right, let's get into this one then. Yeah, the Mavericks only need a draw here. They are effectively, because of the quirks of the fixture list, going to be safe anyway, and that's partly because the Desperados face the Deckhands in the final game of the season. So a draw is mathematically enough for Miszville. But a loss, they'll probably still be fine, even if they lose. Like, it would take a very specific set of results for the Miszville Mavericks to be in trouble. But after last season, where they finished second and only lost out on the championship to the Celtics in the final game of the season, and of course won the Howitzer Cup. Weird to be talking about the Mavericks in terms of potential relegation. Here he is, the mighty Zug.
Here he is again. How many games has he played for the ZFL this season?
He's had a good old run out, yeah. I think in terms of star players, we've seen the most. Obviously, Helmut Wolf would be up there because he plays for the Red Squigs pretty much every week. But Morg's had a big old season. Bomber Dribble Snot, no doubt. But Mighty Zug's been up there as well. Take a look at the rosters then. And yeah, it's a reduced strength roster in terms of blitzers. Onions is the ogre, continues as normal. He's presumably hunting around for block in his near future. Jeff Obervold, Ren Redrum, and Pon Dodley are the blitzers. That's 2 armor busts on Pon Dodley, to go with a serious injury as well. Making his debut today is Ricky Ratchet, the tackle lineman. who may have to serve as a fourth blitzer because that skill is at least useful. Johan Franz is the thrower. He is movement 8 and some other stuff. More linemen, Gilbert L. Wise, who also has tackle. Gilbert Hughes, who has dirty player. Jean Blag, who has a bad arm. Hank the Tank and Finn Farquad mean that we have no rookies on this roster. Bobby Beef Brisket is Fend as well because he's pretending he plays for the Desperados. Hubert Dankworth is the catcher with Bloodstep, and Harvey Red Radish is the halfling hopeful who will be hopeful of getting on the field at some point. For the Desperados, the three-pronged attack: Andoni Elizalde, Igor Urtikoichea and Peo Perarina, the latter of whom is the Ogre Blitzer. Four bodyguards: Unai Alonso, Julen Guruteta, Ibai Guruteta and Kepa Martinez. We know what they're about by this point: the frenzy, the tackle, the guard mighty blow, and the rookie, I suppose. Kepa Martinez had a quiet season. The two throwers: one does the thrower stuff, one does the LOS stuff. Caldo Berenga is the former and Javi De La Fuente is the latter. Then the lineman, the sneaky git, Joaquin Aguirre Gomez Corta, the dirty player, Aziel Larauri, and then Xabi Arizmendi, Santi Garamendi, and Anchon Zengo Titagoicha. And I'm going to take a second to get my tongue back.
You can untie the knots.
Okay. Inducements: we saw Mighty Zug. We also have a Bloodweiser keg in play for the Mavericks. And there was some other thing as well. It's a wizard. There it is. It's hidden over here.
It was a wizard also, yeah.
Let's get into it.
So the Mavericks are choosing to defend. And they are going to set maybe a strong LOS with Chuk in the line. Is Chuk going to be in the line?
Looks at a Zug and onions.
It's Chuk and onions. Oh, that's a strong LOS. I mean, worth noting that the Mavericks are a stronger team than the Desperados because they have tripled the amount of guard and then 2 strength 5 pieces also.
So if you're not used to Nobles, the yellow means blitzer. Underneath them is a high kick, and Uruti Koichea captured the ball. For some reason, Perarina has a red circle, but we know he's a blitzer as well. Armor break immediately. Onions is down with the first hit of the game.
Action.
Wow, what a start. Apo gone immediately. Armor break on Oberuvold and a blitz on Mighty Zug as well. Onions immediately out of action.
Well, that was a strong start, for sure. Now the ball is going to be safe. I think that the Mavericks are still stronger than the Desperados, but this is a nice start.
Base up from Javi De La Fuente here. Not sure about that one. But
I think there's going to be a foul.
That might be it.
It's going to be a foul.
Oh, from the bodyguard. Guru Zeta with the foul. We want rid of Zug. We will have to make do with a stun.
I'm sure nobody mistook tackle with dirty player in that play.
Here comes Ren Redrum with the blitz on Aguirre Gomez Corta. And gets the knockdown. We're just considering putting the diving tackle sidestep on the side of the cage, but thinking better of it. As the Mavericks look to adjust to playing this match without their star ogre. Taken out by Peo Perarina on the first block of the game. Serious injury. Apoed into serious injury. Useful stun the other way on Julen Guruteta, and the blitz from Perarina goes for Johan Franz. Gets the knockdown. No break there. The Desperados going aggressively after their opponents here. So, setting up something of an anti-wizard cage. Presumably, our friend Sneaky Git is going to go after Mighty Zug. Aguirre Gomez caught her with the foul, and that is another stun.
It's been a very spicy start of the game, with the Desperados not chickening really, after the strong LOS set up by the Mavericks. And here downs Perurena.
Yeah, we've decided that the Ogre Blitzer is a problem. And that we would like to solve that problem with a boot. Going to be a 4-assist foul with dirty player by the looks of things. Here comes Filbert L. Hughes in a moment, once Ricky Ratchet's decided where he's going. And Filbert Hughes comes in for the foul on Perurena, and that is a stun. Oh, double skull from Elizalde into double push. So, first reroll of the game used for the Bilbali Desperados.
Desperados moving central again, covering the ball. It's not a super safe ball, but it's also not a super bad spot.
Push against Gilbert L. Wise. It frees up one more assist for this foul. It will just be a 1-assist foul. But we'll take it anyway on Zug. No armor break this time. Pondodley gets the knockdown on Ibai Guruzeta, and there's going to be a blitz from the floor from Zug, who finds a POW on the Sneaky Git. Textbook Zug animation and a stun to boot. We had the option, I think, to turn that into a KO using the special, but deciding that wasn't worthwhile. Crushing blow, is it, that Zug's got? There's a nice one-die POW.
There has been a lot of punching from the Mavericks. Quite a few knockdowns.
Another foul coming here.
Foul.
Is there? No, we've moved the dirty player. Did we forget to declare the foul, I wonder? Perurena from the ground takes on Pondodley. That is a 1 in 9. He laughs, but it was Perurena that made the error there. Failing to get the knockdown. Once again, looks to me like we're going to go after Mighty Zug. We've decided we just don't like him. Now, I wonder if did we set up Javi De La Fuente there to attempt a blitz surf before realizing the Ogre had already blitzed, perhaps. I'm theorizing.
This is so far a game without much progress. The ball is being kept central. The punches are flying. And so far, only one removal.
Red Rum. We're going to look to put the diving tackle sidestep on the ball again. Knockdown on Caldo Berenga is a good one. And this will ask a question. Dankworth coming in as well to provide some additional blodge step-based problems. And a nice knockdown from Franz on Javi De La Fuente. Oh, red dice against the Ogre will not work out for Hank the Tank. How do we solve this then? We go with a frenzy hit. Well, frenzy's per man's tackle, but this time we're just going to get more sidestep onto the ball. Possibly a mistake that from Kepa Martinez. No, Unai Alonso, sorry. Perurena gets the armor break on Pondodley, which is easier done than said, I suppose, these days. Blitz from Urute Koichea needs a reroll, finds the POW. That was crucial. Dodge away is good, and the ball is going to move back towards the centre. It doesn't look incredibly safe right now.
You have to remember that there is still a wizard in play, so the Desperados are playing like very loosely, not to allow for an easy chip. Oh, that's a removal.
Yeah, Johan Franz with the KO on Anthony
Elizalde.
Elizalde. That's
One
a big
of
one.
the bleachers is gone.
Zug gets the break and gets the stone. That's a 1 in 9. It's going to eat a reroll from Ricky Ratchet. Mavericks burning through 2 of their rerolls now. And there might be a block here from Dankworth. It's going to be a blitz from Dankworth. So yeah, there's more than a few players for the Desperados on the ground right now.
I can count 3 players standing, actually. Not 4.
Well,
There they run. Run for the hills.
One of them is the Ogre. So Perarina might be able to help us out here. Urutikoichea is going to move himself into what will be scoring range on the sideline. He does have sidestep. This is not as mental as it might seem. Oh, and that is going to be a reroll on the Bonehead, which works out. 1 in 9 against Jeff Oberuvald.
I'm sure the Desperados will take it. Otherwise, it was a free to die of the ball. Oh, Chuk is punching left, right, and center today.
That's a 1 in 9. Tank the Tank wrestles the bodyguard to the floor. And a block over here from Johan Franz. Won't do anything. Neither will that from Ren Redrum.
Refusing to go anywhere.
So can we get the pressure we want on the ball? Dankworth makes the dodge. And Dankworth will have the legs. Will he? No! He's going to fail the rush and no reroll used. That was the last reroll
of the Mavericks.
Of course, there is a halfling on the bench, but Onions is injured. And I don't think Zug can throw.
Zug can throw punches. That's his thing.
That's his thing. But the throw teammate play is not on. Knockdown from Kepa Martinez. And Perarina with the hit on Jeff Oberuvald. Well, I don't think there's going to be much other than a score here. I think the Desperados will realise that they've got their element of good fortune, and Urutikoichea scores. Desperados lead, and as things stand, they will be playing in the Elite Division next season. But there's a long way to go yet. So Onions, the only casualty of the game, and it was the very first action. Elizalde is KO'd and has not come back on that first effort. In the meantime, this will be a 2-turn defense from the Desperados. Aggressive setup, of course, from Miszville. They're looking to go down the left flank, and it's a solid defense. That's big. That is really big. Just helps us cover that left flank a bit. Useful for the Desperados. Potentially gives up more blocks on the LOS here. Oberuvald with the first hit against Gurutzeta. And Zug gets the KO thanks to Crushing Blow on Javi de la Fuente. That frees up a gap for Mavericks players to charge forward into scoring range. We might be able to even get a cage here. Can we get the ball into the hands of Hubert Dankworth, Pondodley? Dankwit's going forward into range. He's going to need a reroll here. He does get the rush on the reroll. Johan Franz is going to go for the pass. And that pass is going to go directly to... Oh, look at this. Dankwith has dropped it into the hands...
Oh, back in the hands!
...of Finn Farquhar. And that does not end the turn. Well, quite the play there. Farquhar has managed to snatch it up. There's a failed dodge from Pondodley, and he is KO'd. We've seen this a few times from Dankwith this season. When the pressure's on, not delivering a simple catch. So this should be an easy enough sack for Unai Alonso. We've gone for the frenzy approach here to give us more options to get this done. Finds the power and the injury straight away. Ball is not caught by Ibai Guruteta, but it's in a decent position. The Desperados should be able to pick that up. As dead! Peo Pereira with the kill on Jeff Oberuvold. It's another dead blitzer.
My goodness! Out of nowhere. Down 8 first half.
It's another dead blitzer, and it's another dead original Maverick. And Peo Pereira is taking names today. Uruti Koichea has the ball. And the Desperados looking for all the world. As we see a double skull from Aguirre Gomez Corta. Desperados looking for all the world like they will hold this 1-0 lead into half-time. Difficult to see what Miszville can possibly do from here.
They can for sure throw some punches.
Oh, we get an injury back the other way. Serious injury on Zengo Titagoiche. Won't see an Apo there as we give up on the score. We're just going to take some blocks with the mighty Zug. Julian Guruteta goes to the ground. And it is a KO, thanks to the mighty blow skill. So a couple of KOs there, at least useful for the Mavericks. But at half-time, after this foul on the sneaky gate... And that produces a stun. At half-time, it is 1-0 to the Bilbali Desperados. Quite a first half.
Quite eventful. For sure. That's a big name gone. The Mavericks are crumbling. And they cannot hire more blitzers.
No, their last game of the season, the Mavericks, is... I don't think it's a big game, particularly. They play against the Quetzal Quicks. So as it stands, there's not all that much to play for. The Quicks are going for a place in the Blood Bowl Championship, of course. So from their perspective, that's very, very good news for Quetzal. As the second half begins with a knockdown from Mighty Zug. We'll see if the Desperados can hang on to this lead and, by extension, hang on to their Elite Division status.
Bedroom now has to take the lead of the team. Now that the bubble guard is basically...
Oh,
gone.
Johan Franz!
And Franz! Oh, Franz!
Franz has 1 in 9 to pick up. Possibly suffering from the death of his friend. Pereira finds only a push against Ren Redrum. So that's going to limit the options for Bilbali here in terms of trying to pressure that ball. The screen from the Mavericks was more than good enough. And no knockdown there means, yeah, there's very little that we can really do about this.
But there's a lot of basing here.
Yeah, we'll put some pressure on.
I don't know if this is putting pressure or giving out blocks.
Well, we'll ask the question. Do you fancy a few 1 dice blocks here? But that's just turned that into a red dice block. There's a 2 dice. Pushes only against the Guido Gomez quarter. And a double skull from Hubert Dankworth, who is having a horrible game. That's a 1 in 9. Though at least he's got block as Johan Franz... Oh, fails to pick up again! Second failed pickup from Franz, who's having a horrible start to this second half. Potential surf here from Unai Alonso. Gets it done. Jean Blague into the crowd. It's officially a KO. That might again limit our options to go and pressure the ball, but it's at least a removal. As Pereira still struggling to find anything against Ren Redrum. There's a chance to pressure the ball. That has freed up Xabi Arizmendi, not Garamendi. Always mix those two up. And Ren Redrum, again, doing a fine job.
Refusing to go down.
Staying on his feet. Javi De La Fuente dodges away from the mighty Zug. And there's some token pressure on the ball from that line, but it might dictate where the blitz needs to go for the Miszville Mavericks. So far, they are not finding knockdowns this half. That's more like it. And it's a stun on Azier Larauri. Presumably Pondodley's going to make the blitz here. Yes, indeed. There it is. Finds a knockdown on Xabi Arizmendi. But it's fair to say that they are perhaps missing the consummate professional. Are the Miszville Mavericks? As not again, Johan Franz. A third time he's dropped
it. Franz battered hands. Actually being a hindrance to the team.
This is outrageous.
Has been 3 failed pickups in a row.
Oh, we're going to try and pressure with Unai Alonso. As the Desperados look to find a way to snatch this victory. Blitz from Peo Pereira. That should... Not quite. It's a 1 in 9. And it's still... We can't quite open this gap. The Ogre just won't get it done. And still Ren Redrum stays on his feet. We're going to re-roll that. It's a 1 in 9. It's a turnover. And a KO on Javi De La Fuente. Unbelievable.
What a performance from Redrum, who has refused to go down like to 15 dice and has managed to remove a player on his own meanwhile.
Well, Pereira has been unable to break this screen on the blitz. Opportunity here for Pondodley to clear up the ball. There's the pow on Arizmendi. It won't be Johan Franz to pick it up. I think that's fairly sensible, as Arizmendi is KO'd. Excellent reference, Brainlord. I very much appreciate that one. Hubert Dankworth, who's dropped all the catches in the world, makes the pickup. We've got our thrower and our catcher doing the wrong jobs on this team. Oh my goodness. Ren Redrum is having none of this. Oh my word. Knock him over.
That's not possible. It's not allowed by the game.
Pereira again from the ground. Again, it's only a push. We can at least step back in. Well, I mean, do you want to go near Ren Redrum at this point? I'm not so sure. Early knockdown from Hank the Tank will free up the mighty Zug. Only pushes on Larauri will be a bit of a pain. We can't really go that way anymore. Mavericks may have to go back to midfield. Blitz from Zug. Takes down Aguirre Gomez Corta. And it looks like Dankwith's going to switch sides. Oh no, again, Bobby Brisket has changed his mind on that one. Dankwith with a rush. Takes the ball to the other side of the field, and there's a knockdown on Unai Alonso. Right, this is crucial. We need to knock Ren Redrum over pretty much immediately. There it is from Caldo Berenga, finally. Redrum to the floor. There's a pow from Igor Urutikochea, and I am absolutely sure Redrum will eat a foul for this. Kepa Martinez with the blitz on Pon Dodley. That is a knockdown as well. Armour break, and Dodley picks up another injury.
That's a lot of mark on him. Oh, that's going to do the foul.
Well, this is the last blitzer. The referee's going to save him. It's a stun and it's a send-off for Aziel Arauri.
And it's another removal for Redrum this half, who is having a hell of a game.
My word, Pon Dodley is just having a rotten season.
Read a blitz from Chuk.
Stun on the sneaky get to Aguirre Gomez Corta.
Aguirre Gomez Corta has been punched consistently in the entire game. Surprised that he's still alive.
Johan Franz with the dodge away from Unai Alonso. The surfing threat is away back down the field. And that's a push only. Might be that we're going to try and dive this with Igor Urutikochea. This base suggests that might be the plan. Here he comes, the blitzer. Urutikochea is not going to dive the screen. Finds a pow on Bobby Beef Brisket, and we'll just base the ball instead. Herrera, unfortunately, is a bit lost. That dodge is useful. Franz is now unmarked, as is Redrum. Oh, Wizards!
Oh! There's a toad!
It's Frog! Urutikochea.
Urutikochea is not as handsome as he was a moment ago.
Well, that changes things. Should make life a little easier to clear that. Johan Franz is going to blitz backwards, which might tell us the idea for where Hubert Dankwith is going to go. Dankwith makes the block and gets the armor break on the Frog. Urutikochea is stunned. Frog cannot use their skills. I think the Frog has its own skills.
It has something like dodge and side step and sprint.
We can't see that because its normal skills are still listed. Red dice. Wrestle on Mighty Zug. That might open up a gap. That might just open up a gap for Ibai Gurutzeta to come in and blitz the ball here. Can he make the rushes to get it done? He finds the pow! Gurutzeta gets it done on Hubert Dankwith, and the ball scatters forwards. Can Caldo Berenga pick this up? No, he's dodged from diving tackle. Ren Redrum strikes again. Berenga's going to drop it, and it goes right next to Johan Franz.
This is turn 16 already. The Mavericks need to make it.
Final chance. Do you trust Johan Franz to pick this ball up? Ren Redrum with the blitz. It's a 1 in 9. Reroll gets it done against the Yoga Blitzer. Johan Franz for the tie. He's rolled a 1. He's rolled a 5. And Johan Franz will score for the Miszville Mavericks, tying this game up at 1-1. Well, he had to make a sweat on it, but Franz gets it done eventually. And this one looks to me like it'll end in a draw.
Franz finally managing to make the pickup. He just needed 8 dice on the free ball to roll a 3+. I was insane.
Injuries and KOs for both sides. Not sure that the Desperados are going to have a one-turn option available to them. They do have Uruti Koiche, who's probably the best bet with the sidestep and the sure feet. But it'll still take a little bit of work, and there is sidestep potentially on the line. No, it's going to be Mighty Zug on the line instead. So with one reroll, can the Nobles find a one-turn touchdown to win this game? Kick is short, changing weather, and it is caught by the Ogre. Oh my words. Heyo Pererina catches the ball, and does that make this impossible now? We're just going to take the POW. I think it can't be done. Pererina, too good.
Pererina knows how to do the blitzer job. He does not know how to do the one-time job then.
Well,
but
you know,
still a very good performance from the Ogre.
He's got the catch skill. He didn't need the catch skill, as it happens. Here's a blitz on Mighty Zug from Ibai Guru Zeta. There'll probably be a foul on Zug as well, unless we get him removed before that. It's a stun. And we're going to come round the back for the foul on Mighty Zug. And it still is stun. This one ends in a draw, which, as we said at the start, works much better for the Miszville Mavericks than it does for the Bilbali Desperados. The Mavericks are now safe. They will play in the Elite Division next season. The Desperados, I'm afraid to say, are going to have to sweat on the final game, where they face the Sartosa Deckhands. It is advantage Bilbali. A draw in that game against the Deckhands would be good enough for them to stay in the Elite Division, by virtue that the Royals can only make it to 9 points, and the Deckhands obviously wouldn't be able to leapfrog the Desperados unless they win that game. The Mavericks, what has ultimately proved to be a little bit of a nothing season, they're at least going to stay up. They're not going to get relegated.
They're going to need a few new blitzers, though, for the next season. But that will be next one.
Yeah, that's the understatement of the century, I think. They are well short. They're going to go into that final game of the season against the Quetzal Quakes with just one fit blitzer. I mean, Recuperate could save the day a little bit, but even then it would bring back Pon Dodley, and they would have 2 blitzers because Jeff Obervold is dead. Mavericks making more blocks in the game, and regardless of that, actually more armor breaks. No, more armor breaks went the Desperados' way, but the casualties massively stacked up against the Mavericks, as we've kind of seen all season.
Yeah, the armor has abandoned them. I think they've been shopping in some Emporium, Shade Emporium, that of late. Yeah, definitely that's the 3rd loss of a classic in the last 4 games. So it's like the Mavericks are crumbling a little bit, sadly for everybody. But from the ashes of a team, a new one will come out.
We'll have to see.
And
yeah, we are.
It will be an odd season, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it'll be an odd-numbered season, so we know that that works well for Victor Rage. He can only coach in odd-numbered seasons, and we're not even joking when we say that. Yeah. Ultimately, the Mavericks have done enough. The Desperados, they do still have their fate in their own hands, and they do have the advantage in that a draw is enough for them in that final game. But it does mean that the Sartosa deckhands have their fate in their own hands as well, because if they win against the Desperados, the deckhands will be safe.